Hello, good afternoon. It's Monica from Life is Art, and this is the Saturday 3:30 p.m. demo at the Disney Park Hop online crop. We had a nice afternoon of chatting and crafting today, and I hope some of you will be able to join us this evening at 7 o'clock for more of chatting and crafting. Oh boy, I'm really crooked. Let me see if we can sort that out. There we go. Okay, so you might notice that I have my camera lifted up. We're going to be doing a scrapbooking page today, and I wanted to introduce you to the new collection of the 2024-2026 in colors. And these are the five colors that are brand new and continue on for 2 years. We've got Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. And I'm sure I'm going to get those names all mixed up during this video. So don't worry about it. But we're going to be doing a layout that is all about those in colors. Pardon me. So Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. I'm going to put that to the side there. So if I need to reference it, I will do that because I'm going to forget the colors. We're going to start out with our plain white cardstock base page, and I'm going to stick it down to my mat here so it doesn't shift around while we're crafting. In case you haven't heard, all the Close to My Heart makers have retired, and some of us have shifted over to Stampin' Up. So you can find me at lifeisart.stampinup.net. If you're placing an order during the crop, I've posted about the crop specials. But if your order is more than $200, you will be prompted to add some Stampin' rewards to your order right there on the screen as you're doing your checkout and whatnot. But if your order is less, you'll want to use the May host code that you see here. And I've posted it as well in the event. And that will help me to be able to provide prizes and things for the crop. So yay. So we're starting out with our 12 by 12 base page. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And if you're watching later on replay, drop a comment and let us know that you came by to watch. I see Heather's here and Joanne. Hello. Michelle and Deborah joining from the cottage, and my mom is here as well. Yay! All the gang is coming online. So I have 4 of those 5 in colors here. Let me see, which one am I missing? I'm missing the Shy Shamrock. Let me see. I'll just show them to you kind of up close. Got 4 of the 5. Let me grab the Shamrock. Where's the Shamrock? There we go. This is Shy Shamrock. I've got a big sheet of it. So we've got our Pretty in Pink right there. This is the Peach Pie. Then we have the Shy Shamrock. Then the Summer Splash, which is a nice teal color, and then the Petunia Pop. And so those are the in colors. It reminds me of Rainbow Sherbet, which makes me think spring and summer and lovely, happy times. So that's kind of where we're going with this layout. We have, we're going to be doing a layout with a birthday party. So let's grab the photos first, because these are actually our photo mats. And so the first thing I should tell you is that this was a birthday for my daughter, Julia, and I believe it was her 6th birthday, and just with the family, and she had a lot of fun, but she got a lot of surprises, and so she was opening her surprises. So this is why this is our surprise in color layout that we're working on. So these are 3x4 photos that I'm going to be using, and I'm just trying to remember which color matting was going for which picture. Let me see. I think we were going to go with this. Then this was going over here. Then like that. Yes. So this photo is going to get matted on there like that. So my photos are 3 by 4. So this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Just for all of you who love those 8th and that summer splash. Then we've got a picture of Justin giving Julia a present. He got her a bunch of Da Vinci, which she was super pumped about. No pun intended. Da Vinci is a thing you gotta pump. It's like Play-Doh in a squeezy gun. And she saw it somewhere advertised or heard about it somewhere advertised, and she just had to have it. She saved up a whole bunch of money and bought some herself. And then her brother bought her some, her dad bought her some. She was super excited. She decorated all sorts of things with Da Vinci. Then we've got Joshua here, and he actually gave Julia this beautiful little necklace that she's wearing. I love the shirt that she's wearing. You can't see all of it, but it says, "I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken." It just said everything about her attitude. And the wrong is done in sort of a gradient of color that really goes well with these in colors. So this one's going to go on the Pretty in Pink. And this layout was actually kind of sort of inspired by one of my recent Sketchy Saturdays. And yes, there hopefully will be a Sketchy Saturday for today. It just hasn't been posted yet. And then the last picture is of Julia and I. Somehow we managed to not have a picture of Daddy. He was probably the person taking the photos, and that's usually what happens. The person behind the camera never gets their photo taken, sadly. And so, you know, we always have to make a point of that. Whoever's taking the photo needs to get their picture in there. Now, I'm going to just kind of leave these sitting here for now, because there's something I need to do down here at the bottom of my layout that I want to kind of get put together before I stick these down, so I know what my spacing looks like. It's always important to have the right amount of spacing. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to take pieces of these in colors and kind of create candles across the bottom. And so I have a bunch of strips that I have cut to 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. This one is the Petunia Pop. And I'm just going to scooch my layout out of the way for half a smidge, because we're going to do a little bit of a stamping technique on some of these. Not all of them, but some of them. Let me grab. Sometimes when you don't have scrap paper on hand, you can just grab a sticky note. That'll work just fine. I'm going to be using this Love This Moment stamp set for this. And what I'm going to be using to create sort of that look of birthday candles is I'm going to be using 3 of these little icons that are here. We're going to use the heart, the star, and the circle. And it's a nice way to make use of some of those little bitty stamps that come in stamp sets that you might not always think of. So I've got the little circle loaded up here on my block. I'm going to use black ink. And we're going to do some random stamping. So all you got to do is just stamp around. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Here and there. And be sure that you stamp off the edge sometimes. And make it look random. If you were going to do a lot of things like this, I would actually suggest doing a larger sheet of paper and then cutting it so that you really kind of get that random look. But that's as easy as it is. You're just stamping little circles at random all over. And I've done that with hearts and stars as well. And I did those ahead of time because it would take a while to do all the things on camera. but I'm sure you get the idea. I've got now ink on my thumbnail, as you do. Let's stick our base page back down for a few minutes. And what I want to do is to create kind of a random look to these candles. So I've got there's a couple that have been stamped with the hearts. So this is the Shy Shamrock with some hearts. And then I've got some that I've left plain, like so. Here is the teal with some circles. We've got some peach pie with some stars. And we're just going to get them on here, and we're going to shuffle them around randomly. So you can see how I kind of went some with color, some without, some with stamping, some without, like that. And now I'm not going to pay attention so much to the edge of my layout. I'm going to do some trimming after the fact. I want this to kind of look like it's a continual thing going across. So we're going to start lining these up just to get an idea of where they're going to go. And then we will stick them down. So some are going to be a little bit shorter. Some of them are going to be taller. Stick them down. And I'm leaving space in between because these are candles. And you know, when you're sticking candles in a cake, they're not all the same height. Well, unless you're really careful. You're going to end up with some that are taller, some that are shorter. Just wherever they end up in the icing, right? Sorry, I'm going to need to take a drink of water. Still suffering from the cough. There we go. Okay. So we've kind of created a line across here about 4 inches up. And now we're going to go ahead and stick these down. Random. Of course, I say random, but then I took time to kind of lay them out, right? Randomly planned. What are you thinking of the new in colors that you can see here, or if you've looked at them online? Now, there is a bit of an exciting thing happening with these in colors. If you've been on the website, and there is a joining offer right now that you can join Stampin' Up. And in Canada, it costs, I'm hoping I'm getting these numbers correct, $135 to join. And when you join, you get to choose $165 worth of stuff from the website that you would like as your starter kit. You get to choose whatever you want, which is fun. I had a lot of fun choosing what I wanted. It took me a while, I must admit. I was probably not the quickest person to choose all of the things that I wanted because there's so much to look at and see. So you choose your $165 worth of stuff. So you're already saving a little bit. And then they're offering this special just for the month of May, where they're going to give you the 5 new in color stamp pads. They're going to give you the 5 new in color Stampin' Write markers. They're going to give you the 5 new in color cardstocks, a multi-pack. And they're going to give you the DSP with the new in colors. And it's like $111, almost $112 worth of stuff that they're just giving you for free. Just because with this new deal. That's a fabulous deal. So you can take a look at that online. I've posted a link that you can take a look at that. Super fun. I may have squished this side a little more than I had intended. that's okay. If I find that it's too squished and then too spacey over here, I do have an extra piece that I can add in just in case. I did anyway. Somewhere around here there was an extra piece. But I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. Close enough. All the best planning, right? How many of you have put a layout together and then realized that all your best planning didn't make it line up in the end? Now, I'm still not sticking these down because I want to add some flame to the top of my candles so that they look like candles. And from this Love This Moment stamp set, you see this little speech bubble? I realized that if you turn that little speech bubble so the point was pointing up, it kind of had a flame-like look to it. So I've got my little speech bubble here loaded up on my block, and we are going to stamp some flames across our layout and try not to make a smooch of it. So stamping our flames just on the top of each candle, like so. Just like we were talking about this morning, sometimes you have to look at stamps as shapes rather than as an object. And that kind of opens up some other possibilities of what you can do with it. Not always. Sometimes it just is what it is, but you know, there are times when you can get a little creative. So we're just going to stamp all those little candle flames all the way across, like so. Now this would be a lot more candles than would have been on Julia's birthday this day because, as I said, pretty sure she was only turning 6. But it's decoration. Now, in order for me to make these look a little more candle-like, I'm going to do some coloring. So I have the Stampin' Blends, and this is the dark color of the, pardon me, Lemon Lolly. Now that I took a drink because I was coughing, now I've got like that burpy feeling. And I'm actually going to turn my layout around. I know, rock your world. I'm going to turn the layout around so that I can do the coloring without putting my arm in all those beautiful candles and making a muck. Running amok. We don't want any running amok. So these Stampin' Blends, when you buy the combo, you get a dark and a light, and each one has a brush tip and a nib tip, if that makes sense. Well, like a bullet tip. And then this end is a brush tip. So let's try the brush tip too, because that actually will color faster. Because it smushes down like a brush and it covers more ground. So there we go. And like other markers, you're going to want to if you're doing, like if this was the card front, you'd want to have a second layer of cardstock because the art marker will show through to the other side. It's just the nature of alcohol markers. There we go. We stamp this with Memento ink. So hopefully no smudging will happen. But we're using that dark Lemon Lolly, which is not one of the in colors, but that's okay. There was no yellow in color. But we mix and match, right? We use what we have. We dig into our stash. And we go all the way across, coloring our little flames made out of our tiny little speech bubble. Super cute. I think that works out well, don't you? All right. Now we need to do a little trim on this. Give it a little haircut because all those pieces are sticking over. See there, you can see the marker coming through. Just checking. I think that edge is fine. We're going to trim across the bottom. And just snip off. And you want to always do this from the back side because you'll be able to see the nice straight edge of your layout, and you will end up with a nicer finished product on the front. If you do it from the front, there's adhesive on this, so they're all trying to stick to each other. If you do it from the front, you will have a tendency to cut your base page, and that's not what we're going for. We want to trim along the base page. There we go. And a little bit on the side. It looks kind of cute having all those little yellow flames shining through. It's like they're shining through a curtain, kind of like, you know, when they do the shadow puppets. The light comes through. Yep, that's where my mind goes. It goes to weird places. Okay, there we go. Let's gather up all the little bits. There's another little bit. And another one. All right, line it back up. There we go. I think that's super fun. Now we can go ahead and stick down our photos. We're going to kind of tuck. We can put that one and that one. I'm going to go that way. We're going to smooch. And these ones are going to probably get a little bit of trimming as well. Let me see, we'll tuck this one under like that. And then that one can sit on top like so, because we'll trim off the sides, okay? Pardon me. So I'm going to stick this one down first to keep my spacing, hopefully. Hopefully keep my spacing. Don't want to get too spaced out. How are you all doing? You're all being very silent in the comments. Makes me wonder what's going on in Cyberland. And then we'll add this one. Stick it down. Either that or my comments are just not coming through. And that could be too. You know what? I'm going to actually stick that one. No, I'll tuck it under. We'll lift it up a little bit. Tuck it under like that. Just like we've got our candles haphazard, we're going to make our photos haphazard. This is just a fun celebration. So things are just here, there, and everywhere. And then we'll stick that one down like that. And our last one. This is also very flat so far. That may change, or we may leave it like that. You just never know. And then this last one, I think we'll lift it up a smidge. Yeah, why not? We'll lift it up a smidge. Stick it down there like that. And then we need to trim those two sides. Lots of trimming today. Look at that one. Hanging on for dear life. Just trim that right off. And this one, lovely. I was kind of excited because these photos actually have all of those lovely in colors in it, right? We've got the oranges, we've got the let me see. We've got the peach pie. We have the Petunia Pop. We have the pretty in pink. We have the summer splash. Do we have any shy shamrock? Yeah, kind of right there, shy shamrock. So lots of fun colors. Of course, it's birthday, right? So it's always a little bit colorful. And then for our title, I dug into my stash and I wanted to tone down a little bit of the color, just a smidge. So I've got some, I used a die to cut out the word surprise, and I've got I've cut it out twice, once in black, once in the in colors. And that way we can kind of layer it up, make a drop shadow. And of course now my glue is so full, it's a brand new glue, that it wants to just smirch everywhere. So we're going to just make a little drop shadow, and to do that you just cut out your letter twice, once in one color and once in the other, and then you just sort of offset it. You just drop it down a bit. So when you're putting the glue on, you're going to want to focus your glue on the right hand side, because we're dropping to the left and to the upper and to the right. And you're going to want to try and keep it to about the same amount of drop for every letter, but we will do our best. We'll do our best. We'll see how it goes. So, going to the right with the glue. I was going to try and glue some of these ahead of time, but I didn't get my butt in gear. There we go. So I'm kind of picking out all the different colors. This is not giving any preference to any of these in colors. I just pulled them out and kept using them. And I think that's super fun when you just pick a variety of colors that works, and you can just keep creating, you know, your title, your mats, your embellishments. Super fun. And it's all cardstock. I'm not using any pattern paper on here, although there is in color DSP available. I only ordered the cardstock so far. But if you're one of those people who would like to sign up and get that great deal, you'll get all the different things. I know there's even some dots, in color dots. I'm not sure if that's part of the deal. They might be. Somebody who maybe knows better than me might know, but I posted the information about that signing up deal, the joining to become a demonstrator. And so you can take a look at that. All right. What do you think of these colors? Are they telling the story of summer? Every time I look at them, I want rainbow sherbet. That's just what I see and what it makes me feel like having. It's kind of warm in my craft room right now. You know what? It looks like I did that S upside down. I don't know if it matters, but, well, we're going to go with it. It's a real surprise. Nobody knows which way it should be, and that's okay. And I think adding that little drop shadow creates some dimension on this title without having to add any dimensionals or anything. I had thought about doing that, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to let the drop shadow do all the heavy lifting on this one. So we've got the word surprise, and I even cut out the exclamation mark. I think for most kids, one of the fun things about their birthday is getting a surprise or two, whether it's a surprise visit from somebody, or a surprise present, or a surprise phone call. I think that's one of the fun joys of being a kid and having your birthday. It's all a surprise. On this particular day, was it our truck? No, somebody else's truck wasn't working. So there was a dead truck in our driveway for the whole day, and somebody was working on it. And there we go. That's upside down, but that's okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the R is sort of the middle, but there's a lot of skinny ones on this side. So we're going to put the R right at the 6 and see if that lines up good. Do you ever do that where you talk to yourself about where you're placing things and why you're placing them that way? I do all the time. See, because we have the I on this side, And we also have the exclamation mark. So those are both skinny items, and they don't take up as much space as a full-size letter. And there's our thing. So this comes in 2 1/4, 1, 2, and look at that. Nice. Okay, let's stick her down. Let's see if I can do it in some semblance of straight-ish. I could make it wonky like everything else on the page, and that would solve the problem for me. I could use a ruler, but I am going to attempt to eyeball it. And let's see, who bets that we will get the title straight-ish in the comments. Joanne says it kind of looks like sherbet to her too. Yes, the drop shadow is a fun way to create some letters and add some dimension, and you don't have to add any foam or anything. So if you're a flat scrapper, it's definitely a good way to do that. SUR. And of course, I'm working very far away from my face. If this was me on my own, I would probably turn the layout around and work from the near edge to try and line it up. I could even draw a line with a pencil. There's all sorts of ways you can make sure that things stay straight, but we'll just do our best. What's the worst that can happen? It's not like anybody will ever come to your house with a ruler and take a look at your layouts in your album and say, oh my goodness, you were off by 1/8 of an inch. It's not going to happen. And if they do, that's their problem. There was our eye. We're almost there. This is where you double check to make sure you spelt it right. Now that you got it half stuck down. I'm sure if I had spelled it wrong, you guys would have piped up and said something, right? You wouldn't do me like that. Leave me to make a big spelling mistake. Ish is good, right, Joanne? Yep. It's there-ish. It's lined up-ish. Michelle's loving the colors. Hooray! I think they're nice and fun. They would be great for any sort of tropical travel. They're great for parties. They're great for garden stuff. I think it's just a good collection of color. Let's see if we can get that one straight. It's got an angled edge. All the other ones were straight, but this one has an angled edge, and that makes me think I'm gonna go wonky. But I think it'll be the last thing that I stick down. That's the hardest. There we go. We've got our surprise. And then I've also gone into my stash and I have cut out a bunch of stars using some dies that I have. And we're going to layer those up as well. So let's grab this first one. This is the Petunia Pop. And we're going to add a nice big star there. We've got 3 different sizes of stars. We're making it in 3s because we know our brains like 3s. And let's see. We'll add one there. And then this last one. Keep trying to lay that down because I'm used to having an empty glue bottle. And I know if I lay this one down, it's going to leak everywhere. And then we've got 3 more stars for the other side because we couldn't leave that side unadorned. So we've got some peach pie, some pretty in pink, and some summer splash to go over there. And we're kind of doing a mirror image, but with different colors. So we'll stick that one down. And then our Pretty in Pink. Got to keep practicing those names so I don't forget what they're called. There we go. Oh, we're off the edge there. I guess we didn't get as close on this side. We'll scooch it over. There we go. And then our summer splash. And that is our completed layout featuring the new in colors for 2024, 2026. So for 2 years. And we've got the beautiful Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, Pretty in Pink, and Shy Shamrock on there. We started out by adding some photo mats to our 3x4 photos and layering those across. And then, of course, we added all our different heights and angles of strips at the bottom. Some of them have been stamped on using that Love This Moment little icons. We use the speech bubble to make our nice little flames on top for something fun. We've left a little bit of space here where we can do some journaling, or we could even tuck something in behind. And then, of course, our lovely title and our stars for lovely embellishment as well. Lovely. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely day. I keep saying the word lovely. But that is our introduction to the in colors. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that come together. And yes, it does remind me a lot of that Sketchy Saturday from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I think it was. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you create a layout like this, be sure to snap a picture and post it in the comments so we can all see and also be inspired from your artwork. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you later on tonight at 7 o'clock for Chat and Craft. Toodaloo! Bye!